lots of things to pick our way through. But you finished your first full season as a head coach in the Football League, 11th in the table, 62 points. You've got to be happy.
Beyond my wildest expectations, and I don't mean my expectations were low, there's just so many obstacles and hurdles to overcome. So a huge thank you to the players, the staff, the board, and just a massive thank you to the fans, because we've been all on an incredible journey together and we can't do without each other. So I just play a small part in it. And
it must have felt a bit of a special moment. I think you had your family here as well, to be going around with the players and just showing your appreciation to the fans at the end.
Oh, amazing, yeah. My kids are big football fans and really appreciate the support they've given me and my wife. It's just an ongoing thing with everybody. It's a very warm club. I've got a lovely family to support me. I talk about them a lot, so really glad that they can enjoy it, because I said to the players before the game, before they went out, I said, what's the average career for a player? And somebody like 8 years. I went, after today, that's one gone. So you've got 7 left if you're lucky. And I imagine as a manager, it's 50 times less, isn't it? So enjoy every moment.
The game itself, it felt like Max Sanders coming on second half and sort of changed that formation, changed it very much as a positive towards your team.
100%. I think Max has been phenomenal this year. You guys don't get to see him every day. It's training this week. He's actually been a really standout performer. It says a lot about him as his character, because he knows he's not playing, or he knows he hasn't been playing. He knows he should play a lot more football. He has to play a lot more football than I've been able to give him this year. So for him to conduct himself and to perform the way he has, it doesn't surprise me at all, but people don't get to see that. And I thought he completely changed the dynamics of the game, while complimenting the staff for the change of the shape, just changed the game completely. But you have to have the players to execute it. And I thought from the period he came on the pitch today, he was probably the standout player on the pitch.
Matty virtually got a goal to match another one. That's I think 4 for the season, 3 in the league. He probably wanted the first shot, just a couple of his 4 to be the goal, but nonetheless the winning goal.
Yeah, incredible, and he deserves it. I was quite frustrated in the first half with Matty and Ethan. They were playing far too deep. I was really struggling to get them to play 10 yards higher, and he did that in the second half. So it's no surprise he gets his goal. He just played a little 15 yards too low in the first half. Maybe a conflict of interest between myself and him in terms of what we wanted. But he's a standout guy, standout player. I think he's had an amazing season, and he's somebody we're really keen to get a hold of. And I thought he deserved his goal today. His technique for the first one, incredible. Would have been a goal of the season contender, but he's a top player.
You kind of answered part of my next question. You're keen to get hold of him. We're talking to Pordy. He said he'd like him to stay. Do you think it's a realistic opportunity?
I hope so. We desperately want Matty to stay. We've made it clear to himself and his agent. It'd be a huge part of what we're trying to do go forward. He knows that. We started those negotiations a long time ago. But you have to be respectful of Matty and his family, and he has to do what's best for himself. But I'm sure we would be an attractive option to him.
Does Blackpool have a hold on him at all?
I think they've got an option on his contract. If they want to exercise that, they can. But I can't speak for Blackpool. I've no idea what their plans are.
Pordy got player of the season. I guess he showed the leadership as well you want when Ethan got a little riled towards the end and could easily have talked himself into some trouble. So Pordy's had a great season, but also there's a bit of leadership maybe as well from him.
Yeah, I mean, look, the last few games we've been coming off the park. I call him captain. I think he is a captain. I think he's a leader. I think has a huge positive influence on everybody and a calmness around them. His availability, his ability to train, continually puts his head under. There's a reason why he's got a load of yellow cards. We can help him with that, but I think he has to be somebody to be looking at to be potential captain of the club going forward.
I think if you're calling him captain, it's a good chance, isn't there?
Yeah, but I didn't mean it in a way that this is what we're going to do next year. If a Regan Poole didn't say, I don't know what that looks like. He's just some people are leaders and captains, and he is that guy.
So you've led me on again. Regan had a contract. Are you thinking you're likely to lose him?
I think it's going to be really. I think we have to be honest and say it would be difficult. I'd like to focus on today and cross that bridge. If you want to phone me next week, we can have another interview. I think we have to be respectful of what he's done. Grade A player, hates playing wing back, doesn't want to play there, and yet he's been an outstanding performer there for most of the season. Plays on the left, plays on the right, plays central. He's had an outstanding career. Do we want to keep him? Yes. Do we like to keep him? Yes. Will we do everything we can? Yes. Are we trying to? Yes. Will we keep him? I've no idea. You have to be respectful again of. He'll have a lot of options, Regan, for sure.
What I know you'd like to hold on to, but for obvious reasons, he's not going to be his Carl Rushworth. You gave him Young Player of the Year. He's been exceptional. He looks like a player that really could go on and play at a higher level, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really top Premier League goalkeeper. And actually, if it wasn't for him today, we'd have lost. I thought, talk about Matty, they finished the goal. The second half performance was really good, but actually he made 2 or 3 really key saves today. Big saves. He's done that too many times for us this year. We'll be really disappointed to lose Carl and all the lone players, but he's definitely been a standout performer.
And without going to names, would you look at some of those other loans potentially as trying to make more of it, or is it a bit beyond?
I think on the whole, whatever club you go to, not every loan works out for a multitude of reasons, but our loans have been very, very good for us this year, and there is a genuine interest in some of them for sure. Not quite got to whether it's mutual. I'd like to think it is, because I think we've been very good for all the loans this year. But I think the recruitment team deserve a lot of credit, because on the whole, if you get more than 50% of them right, you've done really well, and we've definitely done that.
We'll do more of that next week. Let's just end on a couple of quick points. Lass picked up away player. I think scoring it, we can probably got him over the line for that one, but also very important at a football club like this. He won the community award. I could see him chatting to the Stacey family at the end. Obviously, we had the commemoration earlier on, and that's kind of a sign of the sort of person he is. That the person you hear in the interview is who he is. Yeah, I think, and we're talking about Lass, and 100% agree with that. I think you could say that about all the players. They're very genuine, standout guys. Very hot. I keep using the word humility and humble. Is that part of the recruitment that you do?
100%. No idiots rule. And he deserves his goal of the season. He deserves the fans. He deserves the community. When he deserves all the things. He's a true gentleman. He's a credit to himself and his family. But on that, I'd want to say a huge thank you to Steve Cottrell and his team. I thought their values and standards before the game was phenomenal. They were the first people to start clapping. They turned around, faced the stand. It's a huge credit and testament to the type of person that Steve is, because I think players are a reflection of the team. And I was personally very proud of them today and what they did, and I think Steve is. So while we're on camera, a huge thank you to him and his team.
Give you a final chance to mention the fans, because obviously 9,000 here, 9,100 for a game that people like me in the media say in pretty much interviews, markets are dead rubber, but you got 8,500 of the 9,000 here were Lincoln City fans.
Phenomenal. Huge thank you from me on behalf of all the players, the staff, the board. I've said it many times, I can't say, and I'll keep saying it's a huge. There's no way we'd be where we are today in the position and the big games we've had and the big moments we've had without the fans. So a huge thank you. I've been in football 30 years now. I've played at a fairly decent level and I've had amazing experiences. But I said to the players in the dressing room, that's the most enjoyable year I've ever had in football. And we said it in there because of the players, the staff, and without a shadow, without the fans. And I said to them, go out and milk it. They love you. And you deserve all the credit you get, but you have to give it back to them, because we're nothing without them. We wouldn't be here today, so thank you.
So loads of positives to take from this season, obviously. Do you think you've built a solid foundation going into next season?
100%. I think it's really difficult to replicate and move on. I think we can do that, but I think what we've built so far, I think we've changed lots of dynamics in terms of the shape, the style, the pragmatism, the reality of what League One looks like. We've definitely changed the type of players we're looking for, and I think we've done all those things for positive reasons, and I think that's come out this year.
And obviously there's news that Adam Jackson signed a new contract. How important was that for you?
Massive. I think I can only judge people on what I see. I don't get sidetracked into potentially somebody who's a bad egg or is constantly injured and they have a good season. I don't get sidetracked by that, excuse me. I think he's been outstanding this year. I think he's an outstanding League One defender. He's got really good attributes: defensive, aerial domination, leadership qualities. He's very good in the ball. I think we'll see a lot more of Adam's qualities on the ball. I'm just really pleased that his availability to train has been really, really high. It was a no-brainer. We spoke yesterday. He came in. He was like, "Mark, thanks." I went, "It's nothing. You've earned it. If we didn't feel you could add value to the group and the squad, trust me, I would have released you. So make sure you take the plaudits for that." So he deserves everything he gets. Be a good player for us next year.
And were you happy to get this victory today, especially after the disappointment at Morecambe last week, to just kind of end the season on a high?
Yeah, very much so. you know, it could have potentially been 3 defeats in a row, which we've only lost back-to-back, well, twice after last week. This year, so important, huge turnout. Or you want people going away with small. I judge the season over a whole, so my reflection of the season is very positive and upbeat, but it's easy to get sidetracked with the result. And we want to say thank you to the fans for everything they've done for us this year, so it's good to go away there. And I keep saying never undervalue the strength and the power of a clean sheet as well. I think we must be top 4 of clean sheets this year, so that meant as much to me as the win. So I'm really pleased for everybody connected with the club today.